everybody, thank you so much for watching. In today's video I just want to go over the most important things that you need to have a successful microblading business. I know at the beginning when I did my research on what I needed, I couldn't find many um, that much information on the essential things that you need. I'm talking about musts for microblading, and most of it is obvious if you took a course or you went to an academy or a school. But I'm going over some things that they didn't tell me about in school, things that helped me to have a more successful business. I do have a lot of happy clients, so let me know if you want me to go more in depth of the things that we need. So let's go ahead and start.
Okay, so here we go. It's pretty obvious, but of course I have to mention it. You need a massage table or a facial table, chair. Some people just call it a massaging table, but this is a must. This is very important. Sometimes people have neck problems, neck issues, so you want to make sure that you have a pillow where they can rest. Usually I have a blanket on top of the table so that clients feel a little more comfortable and they feel cozy. And I also have a blanket for them to cover themselves if they get a little bit cold. Another must, a no-brainer as well, is the chair. I love this chair because I get to rest my back sometimes when I'm sitting for a long time throughout the procedure. So yes, some people just have a little stool, but this is what works best for me. I can always adjust it to however I want it to be. I can always adjust it to the desired height. It's just a chair from, I believe, IKEA or Walmart. One of the other most important things that I found that I really needed was this little cart. It has a few drawers and I can always store many things in them. I found it so important for me because at the beginning I was just using a little shelf and I was just putting things there. But this is just one of the best things I could have bought. It's so convenient and you can always roll it, move it as you need to. So it's one of the most important things that you need. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with the little blade. Of course, the name says it all. It's microblading. So these are the little blades that you need to microblade. There's many different shapes, sizes. This is one of my favorite ones. You can find these. I usually purchase mine from Amazon. There's a lot of different ones and I like to try different ones. But this is one of my favorite ones. The second thing is the blade holder, which is this one. This one has two sides. So one side, the other side. The way you disinfect these, you throw them in alcohol or in a type of disinfectant, which I use the Cavi wipes, and I also have the spray. I love this one because it's supposed to kill every type of bacteria, any type of disease, which we all want, right? So that is the blade holder. The other most important thing is your measuring tool. So with this one, you'll be measuring the client's face, their eyebrows, the shape. This is one that I got from Amazon, and it does the work. You can adjust it. You can change the size to measure. It's one of my favorite tools. And I do have another tool that I use, but that one's just my favorite one. I can go more into detail in another video. And along with that, you'll need an eyebrow pencil. So this is the one that I use. Make sure that it has a pointy tip. This is not sharpened how I usually do it, but this is it. You can find these online as well. A lot of websites have it, or Amazon. Another important thing is your ring. This is where you'll be throwing the ink. I usually just put it on my finger and just grab the ink from there as I go. Along with that, of course, you need ink. There's many different types of ink. There's a lot of different shapes, sizes. This is a black coffee one by Chus. I love that brand. There's many brands. That's just one of my favorite ones, but I do have different ones. Another important thing is, of course, the numbing cream, because who doesn't want to be numb? And here I'm using Super Numb. This is specially for tattoos. It's supposed to be maximum strength, and I've been using it, and so far I like it a lot. It's topical and aesthetic. It is 5% lidocaine. I do have the 10%, but I don't know why this one works better than the 10%. I'm talking about this one that I'm holding here. I know there's a lot of different ones, but this is my favorite one right now for numbing clients, because it does get sensitive. And also makeup remover wipies. These are just to remove any extra makeup that clients might have on their eyebrows. This is the water dispenser, so when you're ready to wipe, you'll just, squirt some water in the cotton pads and remove the ink from the eyebrow, the excess ink. Another thing is the little brush. So this little brush, as you've seen videos, probably you can brush the eyebrows, comb them, and see how they're looking, which is one of my favorite things about microblading. And very important as well, these little trimmers. These I just got them from Walmart. So with these you can trim, of course, the little extra hairs if they're sticking out. I also forgot to bring my tweezers from the salon, but eyebrow tweezers are very important. That's a must, so you can get rid of any unwanted extra little hairs. And another thing is the little razor blade, the eyebrow razor, just to get rid of any extra hair. I know some people like to use the threader, the threading technique, And I don't know if I already mentioned Q-tips. The Q-tips very important as well to apply the numbing cream and the antibiotic cream, which is another must, of course. So after we finish with the actual microblading procedure, we apply the triple antibiotic ointment, and this is just one that I got from Amazon as well. It has a lot actually, so it's gonna last me a while. I'm not sure if I mentioned the mask, but make sure you wear a mask when you're doing your client's microblading procedure. You just want to be safe and not inhale any, any aerosols, any blood aerosols. I believe that's what they're called. So these are some of the most basic things. I know most likely in school they went over this, but people still have questions at times. Another important thing that I forgot to mention is alcohol. Make sure that you label it. The one I have at the salon is labeled. This, let's say you drop something, maybe you dropped your ruler, you want to make sure you wipe it at least with alcohol to be safe. Another very important thing is gloves, of course. Gloves. It's a no-brainer, but people who are new to the whole microblading business and microblading techniques, they want to know everything. So gloves, these are the ones I use. I use the nitrile gloves, much better than latex. Another thing I forgot to mention is this right here. So when you apply the numbing cream, you want to make sure that you apply some plastic on top of the numbing, so this will be on top of the eyebrows, just because you don't want the numbing cream to evaporate. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you want to make sure that it takes the heat and that it gets absorbed into the skin as much as possible to get the most effective numbing. Okay, so another important thing that you want to make sure you have at the salon or your working area for microblading is a sharps container. This is the one I have. It is 1.5 quarts, and it is a perfect size because the microblading needles are very small, so you want to make sure that you have one of these and throw the little needles in there, or the little blades. So see, they're very small, so I'm pretty sure thousands of those will fit into this sharps collector or container. Another very important thing I want to mention for anybody who's starting a business, in this case a microblading business, is something to take payments with. I'm not talking about cash or anything like that. I'm talking about when clients want to pay with a credit card or a debit card. Right now I'm using the Square, and I'm also using the Venmo app, just for for clients who want to pay with their credit or debit card. I love this little thing. The only thing is that they do charge you a percentage for every transaction. So Venmo is probably my favorite one at the moment because they don't charge any percentage from each transaction. And other than that, a very important thing that you need is a mirror. You want to make sure you have one of these for when clients are done with the procedure and they want to take a look. This one's a little messy because it's just one that I usually have at home. not for microblading purposes, but just to have it at home for when I need it. And another very important thing, let me grab it really quick. It is the consent forms. So consent forms, you really want to make sure that you have these at the salon or your working area. And this is a must before you begin the microblading procedure. You want to make sure that your clients really know what they're having done, and you want to make sure that they put all their information, their client medical history. This is a very big one. This is so big. You want to make sure that they don't have any, any diseases, any any health issues. And also you want to make sure that they have skin that's in good conditions for microblading. Other than that, it's just the aftercare instructions. You want to make sure that they take that home, and this is the one they usually sign, and I just have them take this one home so they can read it a little more if they have any other questions. Another important and big thing, another very important thing, of course, is your business cards. Every time you have a client, you want to make sure that you have extra business cards to hand them out so they can refer people to you. I find it so important to have them handy. So definitely make sure you have business cards around to hand them to people, and expect some referrals.
I really hope this helped to get an idea of everything you need for microblading. I do have a few other tips. So if you follow me on Instagram, I do share a lot of tips and tricks on things that really help and things that can help you build your business even more. Microblading is just a matter of practicing, getting better at it, and just figuring it out. I love it so much because I get to help people make people happy, giving them new beautiful eyebrows.